Hi, I'm going to teach you how to make challah today in a bread machine. And I'm going to try to give you all the steps as they are in my recipe, tell you what you need, and show you some things about the bread machine, because there are different kinds of bread machines, but I think they should have this one thing in common, or else you won't be able to make it this way. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. 1 cup of water, 2 large eggs, 1/4 cup of oil, like vegetable oil, canola oil, like this right here, okay, and 4 to 4.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/3 cup of sugar, and I put a little bit more sugar than 1/3 cup, like maybe a couple extra tablespoons. 2 teaspoons of fast-acting rapid rise yeast, and since some of you won't know what that looks like, this is a Fleischmann's package of rapid rise active yeast. That's what it looks like. And the 2 teaspoons it calls for is 1 packet. Okay, so this is going to make 2 loaves, and you just need the 1 packet. All right. So you put all those things together. You open your bread machine. This has already got some cooked, so forget, this is going to be empty when you first see it. You put a cup of water in. You put 2 large eggs in. You put 1/4 cup of oil, 4 to 4.5 cups of flour, somewhere between 4 and 4.5. 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/3 cup of sugar with a little extra sugar, and you just open this up and sprinkle it on top and close it. And then you should have a setting on the machine that says dough. So you select dough and then push start. And that's the first part of making the, oh, and you know what else I put in? About a tablespoon of honey and a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay? So that's going to make it really good. So those are all the ingredients. You just pour them all in. You don't have to worry about mixing before or doing all that stuff that you normally have to do with challah. You just pour it all in, put it on dough, turn it on, and it should say an hour and 30 minutes. That's what the dough is, because you're going to take it out when it's still dough. You're not going to leave it in to cook all the way to bread. So it should be an hour and 30 minutes. You turn it on, and then in an hour and 30 minutes you open it up, and this is sort of what it should look like. Okay, really, really nice. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is take this out of the bread machine. If you have a kosher surface that's clean, fine. If not, just a very clean surface with a little bit of flour on it. And this should be very easy to pull out. Take it out of the bread machine, and sometimes the bottom of the bread machine has a little rotor in it, and sometimes when you take the bread out, the rotor comes out with it, so you just take it out of the bread and put it away. Okay, so now since you're going to end up with 2 loaves here, you are going to cut this big, nice, doughy blob into 2 pieces. At this point, the recipe tells you to turn the oven on and warm it for a minute. So it's not too warm, but a little bit warm. So now we have 2 pieces of the spongy dough. That's going to make your 2 challahs. You're going to have to learn how to braid, and if you don't know how to braid, get someone in your neighborhood, your dorm, for instance, or your scholarship hall, to teach you how to braid. So what you need to do is cut each of the halves into thirds. You take 1 piece and you roll it out like this, like just with your hands, about that long, and it's always nice to have it be a little bigger in the middle. Second piece, roll it out. This is fun, huh? And so as I do this, I stick the ends together. Roll the third one out. You want them to be equal in size. Okay? And I poke the ends, stick the ends together like that. Okay, now here's where you braid. Right over left, left over right, right over left, left over right, right over left, left over right, and so on and so forth till you get down to the end and you pinch those ends together. Now, what I have is a cookie sheet. And I sprayed my cookie sheet with oil. Okay? Now, we're probably going to fade out or something because I do this twice. And now, remember I told you to heat the oven for 1 minute and then turn it off? I've already done that. I'm going to put this in the oven for the second part. It's supposed to be in for 45 minutes. I usually do it for about 40 and we'll come back. Okay, so now the dough has risen. You can see it's a little bit bigger than it was before. I actually didn't leave it in for the entire 40 minutes, and I left it in about 20 minutes. But you can leave it in until the 25 to 40 minutes. So this is an egg wash. It's 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of water, about 1 tablespoon of flour, and about 1 tablespoon of sugar. You mix it up really, really well to look like that. You take your, whatever you're going to use. I use this very special tool, but you can also use a clean and never used paintbrush. And you brush the egg wash on both of these to cover it nicely. It's okay if you got it on a little bit. And some people, after they put the egg wash on, they like to put poppy seeds or sesame seeds. Thank you. And a little salt, although I'm not going to put any salt on mine. Okay, now the important thing about this recipe that no recipe ever has called for before that I know of is you put your challah into a cold oven and then you turn it on 325 and then you turn your timer on 25 minutes and you come back at the end of 25 minutes. Okay, so the challah's been in the oven between 20 and 25 minutes, actually between 25 and 30 minutes, and I've been watching it, and now it's done, so I turn off my timer, I turn off the oven, I pull out the challah, and this is what it looks like, and that is the end of challah making. Good luck!